Hi, my name is Brian LaPayower, and this is LaPayower Report, the fundamental talk show program where I conduct conversations with individuals who have unique skills and talents. On today's program, my featured guest is the head coach of the soccer team known as Richmondtown Rush. I have with me the head coach himself, John Conteduca. John, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, welcome back.
Thank you.
The last time you were here, you came on with your daughter, Gabriella, as well as your assistant coach, Frank Tricomi.
Yes, I believe that was right after our fall championship season.
Okay.
Yeah, we came in with the trophy and also Gabriella and Frank, yes.
Yes. And you also, you guys, after during that season, you had an amazing record. Can you explain to the record to the viewers one more time? What did you win?
Yeah, we ended up winning our division. The record was actually 9-0-1.
Okay.
And we're coming off now. We just ended the spring season.
Yes.
And we had a similar record, which was 7-0-1.
Okay.
And the girls are just phenomenal. I mean, I can't say enough about the girls and how they conduct their practices and also when they play their games.
Okay.
Just amazing, and we're talking about 7, 8-year-olds now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And I understand that now that the girls, you finished up under the U8, what happens now?
Yeah, well, this is the one full season, 1 full year of U8. Now we're going to go up to U9, and U9 brings up a whole different, like a whole new can of, we'll call it soccer balls.
Okay.
The field is just twice the size.
Okay.
So are the goal nets. And we're also going to be fielding 1 extra player.
Okay. So I guess the U will stand the word under, so it's under 9.
Under 9, right.
As a 9-year-old.
Right. Right now, most of the girls should be 8. If not, maybe 1 or 2 that's still left over at 7. But most of them should be 8, and that's why it's called U9, right?
Okay.
Anybody 9 and under could play on the Rush team.
Okay. Just you brought it before, you said you had a record of 9-0-1.
Yes.
Why 9? Why 9?
Well, that particular season, which was the fall season, we had a couple of extra games. 9-0-1. We had 2 extra games. 1 game was in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And 1 extra game was on Staten Island. Now we could schedule games if we like with other teams, with other clubs, and that's what we did that season. This season, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to play anybody else, but we still ended up undefeated.
Okay.
So I mean, if you look at it, it's undefeated. Our record overall the last year was 16-0-2.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not bad for the girls. They really do a great job, and we've gone to Brooklyn to play an all-star team that we put together in Brooklyn, and we beat them, fortunately.
Okay. What is the secret that keeps the success of your team, winning at least mostly each game?
I got to smile with that a little bit because I can't tell you the secret. Then
there's a secret?
There is a secret.
I kind of know that.
I just can't. I just cannot say. No, really, Brian. It's just, we go in. Frank, we also added Demi.
Yes.
Demi Jean this past season, and also Danny. Demi's from CSI, a great soccer player. She plays sophomore, I believe, at CSI.
Okay.
And she's breaking all kinds of records over there, and she's helping out with the girls. She's been awesome. The girls love her. Danny's been a great help also. He's also plays, I believe he's on the tennis team at CSI. And
wait, he plays tennis?
Yes.
He doesn't play soccer. He plays tennis.
I believe, yes. Don't quote me, but I believe he plays tennis for CSI, and also, if I'm not mistaken, the baseball team.
Really?
Yeah, I have to get more info on that next time I see him. But also Coach Frank, tremendous help. And let me just go back a little further. I mean, we've had Coach Rich, Coach Dave, and the parents of the girls on the team, and they've been a great help from day one, and they'll continue to help out, pitch in whenever they can. Understandably that people work and stuff. So
yes.
All of the parents, I got to, if they're watching the show, I thank them from the bottom of my heart. And we just had the picnic a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Without the parents, there would be no Rush.
Okay.
Yeah. So I definitely want to tip my hat off to the parents. And I really, I treat this team like an extended family. Like my family. Like I would, I treat them the same way. I love all of them, parents, kids, just great. They've been great since day one. And I'm going back Day one is 3 years ago. I've had them since they were 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
That's
a
a
lot
very
of
long-
training, a lot of work, and it looks like it's paying off right now. But we still have a long road to go.
Right.
You know, we're going up to U14. So
Yes.
all right.
And that'll be the completion.
Then they go into high school.
Yes.
So you know they'll play on their own, and hopefully I could stick with this team all the way up until U14, and then I've done my part, so to speak. So.
Now, during the fall 2012 season, you weren't just a head coach. If I'm correct, you actually became a referee.
Yeah, so a couple of things have changed. That's one of them. Becoming a referee was something that I've always, I won't say dreamed of, but always thought about doing. And this past season, I said, you know what, let's give it a shot. And I tell you, Brian, you've been to a couple of games with me.
Yes,
Okay.
I actually. Yeah, he's telling the truth.
Right.
I've been to this couple of soccer
Right,
games.
I've invited you, and I like to have you around there. You like taking.
Thank you.
I actually really love, just as much as coaching, refereeing games.
Yes.
I look at it this way, especially when I'm refereeing U6 or U7 and a U8 game.
Yeah.
It's more like it's still teaching. So it's like coaching, refereeing at the same time, and you're getting a little something for it, like
Okay.
a little fee. So, yeah, I love doing it.
I believe we talked about those fees, right, on the program you're on.
The little guys are only like $20 a game, but you know what? It's not really for the money. You get it's not. I'm not doing it for the money. Obviously,
No.
for $20 a game.
No.
I mean, it's just. I'm doing it for the love of the game. I
Yeah.
love coaching
Yeah.
and refereeing the little guys at that age. It's like almost teaching them, because if they make a mistake during the course of the game, I'll let them redo it. Like if it's a foul throw, we'll teach them the right way.
Okay. What was it like teaching? What was it like refereeing the first game of during that season?
Well,
what was the first game involved? If you're as a referee,
I don't really recall. I recall this. I don't.
or any game that you recall as a ref.
The first game I was nervous.
Really?
The first game, yeah, just natural. I was definitely nervous until the game got going, and I guess I got into the flow of the game. And I tell you, these 7-year-old kids, 6-year-old kids, there's a couple times when I referee games, and they were intense games. They were
Really?
really intense, which means both teams were really coached well, and they both teams knew what they were doing. So, and I love that. That keeps me on my toes. I hate to see the one-sided games. I mean, nobody gets anything out of a 13-0 game. Nobody.
Okay.
And I won't mention any names. Frank tried to call me. Oh, I'm sorry. I did mention a name.
Now, speaking of Frank, he also became a referee too.
Yes, Frank.
Both you and Frank became referees.
You know what? I'll even add this to becoming a referee. Since I'm such an old guy,
Okay.
I wanted to learn like the new wave, like the new phrases and the new maybe techniques about soccer. So that was another thing. I learned a lot taking the referee class. It was like it was 3 classes all in one, and then a test. So yeah.
A test. Was it multiple choice?
It was a multiple choice, 100 questions.
100 questions?
100 questions.
Oh,
And
my
guess
God.
what? We got a research every year. And I
Okay.
believe the research test is 50. But, they make you, you definitely got to know your soccer.
Okay. Out of 100 questions, how many of them you had to pass?
I believe passing was 80.
Okay.
You had to get an 80 and above.
Wow.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, you got to study. You got to know your sport. I've been into sports since I'm 5 years old, so. But like I said, I still needed to brush up because there was some things on there I was scratching my head on, not knowing. But they give you a booklet. You have plenty of time to study, and you pass the test.
So you also were a soccer player.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
What was your position playing soccer?
I primarily growing up, you play everything because
Yeah.
that's what they want you to do, is like a 7, 8-year-old. But primarily a goalkeeper.
Really?
So, yeah, I went as far as I played. I was cut. I would have to say back in probably '99, 2000, from the Brooklyn Knights, semi-professional. I was
Really?
the last cut on their tryout.
Why did they cut you?
I didn't make the team. I just didn't make it. I was the last cut, and that was the end of my career, just so to speak. And which is fine. I've had a great time playing. And now I just want to give back, as helping out kids.
Okay. So you were on a couple of years hiatus after you were cut from the Brooklyn Knights,
Right.
and then when you had Gabriella, your daughter, you then got yourself re-involved back into the game that you love,
Yeah,
soccer.
It's amazing how that worked. You can never force anyone to play the game. As soon as Gabrielle was born, like you said, a couple of years, I would say 3 years old, she was already kicking a soccer ball. As a kid, I guess just kicking it was fun, but I continued to work with her and work. 4 years old, I put her right onto a soccer team at 4 years old, and the rest is history. For 4 years now, she loves it. I can't get her away from the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outside soccer, is there any other sports you like?
I follow baseball,
Mm-hmm.
the Yankees. I'm a big Giants and big Rangers fan.
Okay.
Very big on that, yeah. I just want to go back to soccer, and as far as my show that comes on,
Yes, you do have a program on TV. Can you explain to viewers the program that you have?
it's the name of the show is Solo Rush Soccer Report. We come on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m., and that again is another reason why I'm doing that show, Brian, is to bring out more exposure to the game of soccer.
Yeah.
I'm also I have a co-host, Christine. She's also. I was searching for so long for a co-host that knew the game, and finally I found,
As in a female co-host.
right, a female co-host that knew the
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
And Christine is great. She's a coach of St. Charles, the Comanche. I believe they're still U7, and they might be going up to U8 this fall. Yeah, she's great also. So we'll look forward to that. We're going to be putting a lot of info out on soccer, and hopefully we'll have a lot of guests coming on our show. Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock, 34.
Okay. And also just to reveal, when the team goes into under 8, they actually keep hold of the standings.
Excellent, right. Yes. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, I'd love to know this one day, but the league does not keep the records of the U5s, the U6, the U7s. Once you're into the U8, then all of a sudden they recognize your wins and losses.
Okay.
And at the end of that particular season, if you're the best team in the division, you get a trophy for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Was soccer your first choice as a sport, or you had something else different in mind?
I think soccer was my only love, really, is playing it. Yeah, it was just. I've played football as a kid in the street in Marine Park. I remember playing in Brooklyn.
Nice.
I broke my nose a couple of times doing that. So,
Really?
yeah, I also played roller hockey.
Yeah.
But I think soccer was for me. It won over all three of those sports.
Okay. Any outside the sports, it's outside the United States?
Well.
You want to know something? I have actually watched plenty of sports outside the United States. I've seen them on ESPN. One of them I kind of do like is the Australian Rules Football League.
Rugby.
Have you ever seen at the AFL?
Rugby.
Rugby. Well, it's not like rugby. Well, it's similar to rugby.
Similar, right? Yeah.
They actually have, like, instead of the post, like the rugby posts, what's even more amazing, the arenas in Australia, it's like they make the same size. They make it like the shape of the ball, the same size as the arena.
Yes.
And the Australian Football League has been around for more than 100 years.
Yeah.
Plus.
I haven't really followed that much, but I've seen clips here and there on ESPN.
Right.
Yeah.
And they actually zoom it overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Go
just
ahead.
wrapped up the European Cup. I don't know. I think you follow that a little bit, right?
I do follow a bit of it.
And just to throw it out there, Italy lost in the finals. They got hammered, actually. 4-0 in soccer is an embarrassing score. But that being said, if you look at the whole picture, from the Italians' point of view, from 2 years ago, they were a laughingstock in the World
World Cup.
I was going to say World Series, the World Cup. Right. I'm thinking baseball too now.
Well, they have the World Classic, the Italy.
No, that's in baseball.
Right,
Right?
baseball, yes.
Yeah. So no, Italy came a long way. I know they got hammered, and probably Spain deserved it. They've won the last 3 major titles. I mean, that's remarkable, and they got a shot to win the World Cup in 2 years from now.
Okay.
So that's really unheard of. And
Okay.
that's it. As far
During the match between Spain and Italy, what would you say would have been Italy's weakness?
you know what, Brian, watching this game for 35 years, I would say, Italy didn't come to play.
Yeah.
And no, they did not. They didn't show up for the game. I don't know how this happens, but it does happen to teams. You only got one shot. This is not a 2 out of 3, best out of 7. One shot. How you cannot come to play for that one particular game, you know, it's just.
Do you think Italy was maybe given any threats from the country they were playing? I think they're playing like Ukraine, or was it Poland?
The final was in Ukraine. Well, the whole tournament was in both countries, Poland
Right.
and the Ukraine.
Yeah.
The final was in Ukraine. I don't think there was any threats towards Italy itself. I just think Spain whipped their butts, you know, flat out. You know, they didn't come ready to play.
Okay.
But like I said, for me, I look at the whole picture. Yeah, would I've loved that they won that game, of course, but the whole picture to Italy still did a great job in the whole tournament. Brian, if you may, I have this little song that, you know, as you know, back on April 1st, ironically enough, one of my childhood idols, Giorgio Chinaglia, had passed away. And ever since then, on my show, we use his song that he came out with in '74.
Really?
Back in '74, this man wrote a song, and I'd like to play it on your show.
What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is Football Crazy.
Football Crazy.
And it's by Giorgio Chinaglia, the former New York Cosmo, and also leading goal scorer in American history. He's in the Hall of Fame. So he's in the Soccer Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So if you may, I could play a little clip here, and so your viewers could get a little taste of it. I'm sure not too many people know of this song, but we'll let them listen.
Okay, go ahead, play a little bit of it.
Okay. He states he's better than all the rest. A little cocky, but you know, that's okay. Yeah, he can't wait for Sunday mornings. All right. That's just a little clip. I mean, if your viewers would like to see him, and you could YouTube him, Giorgio Chinaglia, or actually just go to Football Crazy and you can find him up on there.
I think it's let's type it in.
Yeah.
And it's also used as your opener as well.
It's my opener. It's my closing on my show. I mean, that's my way of just giving back to this man, because although if you do know Giorgio, yeah, he had some problems, but you know what? Who doesn't? You know. But what he did on the soccer field was like one of a kind, especially for New York back in the late '70s and '80s. Yeah. Just to give you a little background, he has played on the Italian national team, scored a few goals for them. He played on a club team in Italy, Lazio, won a championship with them. Yeah. And he's got over almost 300 goals for the New York Cosmos, indoors and outdoors. So, I mean, he's a great player.
He was also, I looked at his biography. He was born in Italy. Right. He then lived in Wales.
Yes.
And he finished the rest of his life out in Naples, Florida, if I'm correct.
Right, yes. That's where he ended up passing away of a heart attack. I believe it was a second heart attack that he had, and he was surrounded with his wife, and I believe he had 4 kids. Yeah.
He didn't look like he had any health problems, because somebody did an interview with him in Italian. Yeah. I saw it on YouTube on it.
You know what? I think I think he smoked a lot, and that might have contributed to it. And he did gain some weight from his playing days. They called him Johnny Long. Johnny Long being thin and tall and skinny. I mean, he was in his 60s when he passed, and
he was 59.
59? Okay. Yeah.
59. Right, I actually got it.
Okay, thanks for correcting me. But yeah, he did gain some weight later on in life. But you know,
I think that most usually retired players usually like either remain slim or just stop working out and gain a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Were you always a slim guy when you were growing up?
I'm fortunately enough to be, you know what, technically.
Yeah.
When my last physical, I'm considered overweight because they
really
they weigh your weight and your height. They put it together and they come up with this crazy number. But yeah, for most of my life, I've been pretty much thin. So
I was thin part of my life too. At least from I was born up until about age 11. That's when I started to gain weight, and I've been actually up and down weight. The worst weight I ever weighed in my life was over 270 pounds. I had trouble breathing. Yeah, I had no trouble walking, just mostly breathing. I would breathe a lot heavy. And then I found a solution. up in 2008, I realized that I was lacking water.
Yep.
And I would drink lots and lots of water. A type of glass I use to drink a lot of water, I don't use like a regular, like small, like coffee mug or anything. I would drink out of a beer glass. And I would like drink plenty of rounds of water. And all that weight on my body would loosen out.
Right.
I not only lost weight in my body, but weirdly, I also lost weight in my feet.
Right. Well,
During my junior career in high school, during my junior year in high school, I had, in the beginning of it, I was size 10 in like sneakers and shoes.
Right.
At the end of my junior year, I was up from 10 to size 14,
wow.
double wide. And in 2008, I started like drinking all that water and everything. What was 2007? And then about a year later, my feet swelled down from a size 14 sneakers, 13 wide in shoes, to a size 10 on both.
Wow, that's excellent. And
Yes.
I'll just throw this
I even
out
asked
there.
plenty. I even asked plenty of doctors out there.
I'll throw this
Go
out
ahead, John.
there because I would love to do this. If you want to join a gym and you need a partner, because I would like to go with someone. I'm willing to do it. You know, we'll go to the gym and we'll work out, exercise, and stuff like that. And we'll get someone else involved too. You know, maybe Frank Tricomi, which I already believe he already does that. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know, it's better sometimes when you go with a couple of guys. You know.
Yeah.
But as far as you know, the soccer, Brian.
Yeah.
As you know, we have a season coming up. We're in mid-July now. It's the
Yes.
11th. We start training August 18th as far as the Rush team itself. But
Yes.
on August 4th, we're starting Richmondtown soccer camp,
Okay.
and everyone's invited to go to the camp. And you know, to see even like first timers, or you know, to see if you're interested in the game. You know?
Yes.
At the camp, that's what the camp is for, to see if your child likes the game, and if they do, then we sign them up. You know, the ages start from 4 to 14. So.
Okay. Speaking of 4, you have 2 daughters, Gabriella and Ariana. Ariana's how old now?
Ariana.
Yeah.
Ariana's now 5, and thanks to mention Ariana, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
I just signed her up to Richmondtown.
Oh yeah.
So she's officially on a team. I don't know what team yet, but she's officially now a soccer player.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't wait. And she requested number 11.
Really? She requested a number?
I don't know where it came from. She's 5 years old. She says, "Daddy, I want to wear number 11." I said, "Hey."
Do you know anyone in history that wore number 11?
Well, for me, when I think of number 11, I think of Mark Messier.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only guy, and it's not soccer, but I think of Mark Messier, and I call him the master.
Right.
So, you know, but hey, if
Former New York Ranger, former Edmonton, not Edmonton Oiler.
Yes.
Edmonton?
Yes.
Also, he was a Vancouver Canuck.
Exactly.
He came back to the Rangers and retired with the Rangers.
Right, and he does some kind of assistant GM with the Rangers now.
I have no idea anyone could pick their own number.
Yeah, I mean, if you can request it if it's available. I'm sure the coach will give it to you.
So this might be a question. Gabrielle's number, she was number 9.
She was number 9. I gotta be honest with you, Brian. I gave her that number 9. Why? Because she's a goal scorer, and she's plays center forward, and that's a goal scorer's number.
And also that's the number of Adam Graves.
And also, let's go back a little bit. Let's stick to soccer. That's Giorgio Canaglia's number.
Right.
So there you go. That's another reason why. You know.
That's incredible.
So, yeah.
What was your number in soccer, real quickly?
Well, number 1.
Really?
Number 1 as a goalkeeper. When I did play the field, which I wasn't great at all, I used to wear 11.
Okay.
In honor of Mark Messier.
Well, actually, you were younger, so...
Well, I loved Messier for... I followed...
I forgot, he played over 20 years, so...
Yeah, I followed hockey since 1980. And when he became... Well, obviously, when he was an Oiler beating the Rangers, I didn't like him. But, of course, when he became a Ranger, yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, number 11 was the number I wore. Other than that, it would be number 1 for a goalkeeper. Yeah.
Okay.
So we do have a new season coming up, Brian, starting September.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we could three-peat. I believe that's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, time's running out real quickly.
Okay.
If anyone out there wants to contact you, how can they do that?
Well, they could go on to Richmondtown Rush on Facebook. You could add me, request me. I will add you. If not, gaproducts.com. I'm sorry, gaproducts@aol.com.
Okay. Well, if anyone out there wants to reach me, they can contact me at lapierreport@gmail.com, or write to me to the studio. John, thanks so much for the program.
Thank
And
you,
also like
Brian.
to thank the tech guy, Cormier, and the rest of the staff crew at the studio. So once again, my name is Brian LaPayower, and this was LaPayower Report. Thank you for watching.